We've definitely got a lot of haziness there. Not going to sniff it, not going to stick the schnez in. It's not something I do. But what I do is have a sup of beer. Don't know what that's about. Look at that. Huh? Halloween beer mat from PerfectDraft. Got about 8 of them in the box. That's the only thing that I thought you could do with that. Might be worth that. Anyway. Well, hello there. Perfect Drafters. How are we doing? Are we still good? Good. Because, people, I'm excited. We've got a new keg release. I've got it in there. And this, I reckon, is going to be a beauty. It's a Franziskaner. It's the Kellerbier. Yes, it is. So, obviously, we've got other Franziskaners on there. We've got the standard Weiss beer on there and also the Royale as well. There was a Dunkel, I think. Not on there anymore. So, this is making up the trio of Franziskaners. We've got 3 monks sitting in line waiting to be supped. Not tonight, unfortunately. Although that would be a little treat, wouldn't it? That would be a treat. No, this time though, people, we have got that Kellerbier in there. It is a lager. It is 5.2% and it's £37.90 of your finest. Yes, it is. So, not got the actual glass for the Kellerbier, but I have got a Franziskaner glass sitting there, been cleaned, hopefully to perfection, waiting to have that beauty poured in there. So I'm hoping for a bit of a refreshing little number. It is an unfiltered one, so I think you've got to look at things like Stella Unfiltered, things like that. It's a lager, so around about that same kind of percentage. You're looking at a Hawkston, you're looking at a Jupiler, yeah? You're looking at those. So how does this compare to those? How does it compare to one of the all-time faves? Stella, just your standard Stella. And like I just said, that's Stella Unfiltered. Where does it line up amongst those? Now, we have had quite a few kind of new releases since my last review, which was that Brewdog Hopped in Harmony. We've had a couple. Naninsky one thing, that flowery lager, I didn't get it. I wasn't that bothered about it. Apparently, though, it was good. The thing is, it was a limited edition. It was a limited release. So with those, I'm kind of like, they're good. And it's nice to see those different types of beers on there. So for that reason, I was tempted. But if you really, really like it and it's limited edition, it's a bit gutting, isn't it? It kind of like, it goes off the Perfect Draft and you're like, found an absolute belter and can't get it anymore. So that was a short batch release. If it comes back in, a little bit like how the Schneiders did back in the day, and then that came back in because there was a lot of call for it. If it comes back in, I will try it. I will get it. There was another one. There was the Left Blanc as well. The left Blanc, or whatever it is. The white left beer. Now, that, because I am a left fan, I would have liked to have tried. So that's a shame that I didn't get my hands on that. Again, I've got my little beady eye on it. The Baldy beady eye is looking out to see if that ever comes back in. So if they do, I will get them. There's been one more, and I did get it in this pack. So this 3-pack that I bought with this Franziskaner Kellerbier was this, the Camden IPA. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I didn't mind the Camden Pale. Apparently there's a little bit of kind of, variation in some of those kegs. Some people were saying this is a bit watery and some were saying, it just doesn't taste quite right. But I found, I quite enjoyed that. In fact, I think I bought another one just for consumption. Yeah. Sometimes I do buy things for consumption, not just for reviewage purposes. And then also the other keg that I got in this 3-pack was a Left Noel. Because let's face it, we're coming up to Christmas and that is a beauty. I will review it again because I didn't review it on the Perfect Draft Pro. And I think that Left Noel will have a lot of fruity flavours coming through when it's that little bit, that little bit warmer, a few degrees up. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to trying that on here. It was one of my earlier reviews, that. So yeah, let's go back and have a look at that one. So they're probably going to be the next 2 reviews coming up, that Camden IPA and also that Left Noel. But today, people, we have got this in here. Like I say, 5.2%, £37.90 keg, which, let's face it, anything under that 40 notes now, and we're going, yes, well done, Perfect Draft. Well done, you've done well. Not only that, they threw in 8 of these beer mats. Huh? Things are looking up. Right, I've got some snackage, and none other than Rick Unwin, yet again, suggested some snackage to me. He's suggested quite a bit recently. He suggested some that was in Lidl. Whenever I say Lidl, I always think of the Oasis song, Little by Little. That one, yeah, which is Little by Little. Why have Lidl never used that tune in their adverts? It would go down a stonker. It really would. I think. Anyway, that's irrelevant. But he suggested some that were from Lidl. I didn't get those. I wasn't going by a Lidl, but I was going past an Aldi, so I got some that he suggested from there. Yeah. And I'm quite excited about the flavour. Not a spicy one, but a flavour I do enjoy. Anyway, that'll come up in a minute. That'll come up after we've had a look at this keg. After we've done the pour, I've brought it in. We'll have a look if we've got any bubs. I think because it's an unfiltered jobbo, it's going to be quite a cloudy little number, so might not see it that well. But I'll try and wipe the haziness away from the glass that will ultimately bring with it. See if we've got any bubs, bring it back. I'll have some suppage, yeah. Tell you what I think to it, but before I rate it, I'll have that snackage. Yeah, tell you what I think to that, and then I will rate the beer. Usual order of play, people, although it does feel like it's been a while. Let's get stuck in. I'm excited. I'm a big, boldy, excited fella. Let's get this poured. Let's have a look at that keg. Let's get it supped. Okay then, people, there we go. There is that Kellerbier keg. There Franziskaner sits, yeah, that monk. There he is, having a sup. Don't know if it's this beer that he's got in that ale, that jug, that stein. Don't know. But if it is, I wonder what he's thinking to it, yeah? Franziskaner, what a fella. What a brewery. There it is. Perfect Draft keg. What we got to say below? I don't know. Definitely that's unfiltered, innit? Don't know what the other word is, but there we go. There's the keg, people. Let's get it poured. Okay then, people, here we go. Like I say, I have got the Franziskaner glass. I scrubbed it well earlier. Let's get this poured. Now, it does recommend a 3 degrees, and that's what I set it to on the app. However, it is saying 2 just there. It's not that cold in here either. We've had a bit of a cold snap. Yeah, let's talk about the weather, people. We are British. But look, we've had a little bit of a cold snap. It's a little bit chilly. I've got my hoodie on. I wouldn't sit in here in a bikini. I wouldn't sit anywhere in a bikini. Anyway, I wouldn't sit in here with not a lot on. But look, it's not that chilly, so I'm not sure why it's at 2 degrees. Anyway, let's get this poured, peeps. Look at her, people. Just look at her. That. It looks like a little dreamy pint. Let's bring it in. There we go then, people. Look at that lovely white head. It's a beauty. There's a little bit of room for a tippy toppy too, which shall be done. But there's my mate Monk. Yeah. Let's give that a little bit of a wipe. It's quite dark, isn't it? It's quite dark. Yeah. There's some bubs. There's some bubs. Just kicking off just there. Fair play. But all in all, that is looking, to me, if you can look at something and say that's well-bodied, it's normally a person. But looking at this, I'm saying that beer looks well-bodied. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of looking at it. Let's get it supped. Feels like it's been a while since I poured that on there. It's not really. It just has been a while since I've done it for you guys. Anyway, and girls. Needed a little tippy toppy too. And he's going to go over the edge. He's gone over the edge. Was there an arm wrestling film called it's called Over the Top, I think. It's where you're arm wrestling and then you like that or something. Bang! Not an arm wrestler. As you can probably tell by that motion. Anyway. Oh, look at you. I know, sometimes, that's why the drip tray's there, isn't it? If you've got that little beauty at home and you're pouring yourself a beer, let's make it look a good one. Yeah? Right. We've definitely got a lot of haziness there. Not going to sniff it, not going to stick the schnez in. It's not something I do. But what I do is have a sup of beer. And that's what I'm going to do now. Cheers, Perfect Drafters. Let's give this a sup. Cheers. Yes. Oh, yes. Shut the door, shut the windows, shut everything and just keep me in that room with this beer. Yeah? Because this is a beauty. I kind of already knew it was going to be. There's certain breweries that are class. This is one of them. The Franziskaner Brewery is just a belter. I'm not a massive Weiss beer fan, and yet I like that Franziskaner, just the standard one. I love the Royale, and I love that Dunkel. Basically, even if I don't think I'm going to like the type of beer that these are brewing, I still like it. It's that good. And this, I do like a lager. I really do. But this is more than just a standard lager. This has got that kind of, almost a wink to a Weiss beer. It's got a little bit of fruitiness. You've got that caramel coming through on it. You've got some really, really hoppy notes. But the body of that is fantastic. Not as thick as a Weiss beer. No. But for a lager, that is a well-bodied beer. I think they say on the Perfect Draft site that it's medium-bodied. I would say for a lager, that is well-bodied. I would. Good body. Good body, Monk. Yeah. Now, you're drinking that. Because you're drinking it. No, but you do. You do. And I think that's the thing with some of these, like I just mentioned about the Camden one. I know Camden is a well-established brewery. Don't get me wrong. And also Hawkston as well. That's less so, although I think their brewery has moved. But what I've heard from the community, I haven't experienced it myself, but there's consistency issues, quite often mentioned. Like, I've had Hawkston when it first released and it was a really nice fruity lager that just hit the spot. And then, on a couple of months later, you spot, the same people saying, yeah, this batch doesn't do it for me. There's something wrong. There's something that's changed. But this kind of brewery, the same as your standard Stella brewery as well, that have been doing it for years and years. And I mean, what's this? Is like 1300s or something, isn't it? These monks have been brewing this since. Not the same ones. But, they're going to really want to know that there's consistency in their beer. And they're going to know how to keep that consistency. Hertog Jan. My number one lager on this machine. Yeah? Consistent. And that means a lot. You know what you're going to get. I mean, and you do want to know what you're going to get when you're handing out nearly 40 notes. I know this isn't 40 notes. But you do. You want it to be consistent. You want it to be good. You want to know that what you've paid for is what you're going to get. And hopefully with this, hopefully it's not just a limited release. I don't think it's said that it is so far. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully people are going to buy it, because that is why you buy this machine. For these kind of beers. Ones you don't just get in the supermarket. Ones that, you know, you really want on draft, and you don't just nip down to your local and you get it. You've got a decent price pint. You've got a continental belter. You've got something that's flavoursome, something that's enjoyable. If it's consistent and continually on the machine, happy days. That is what we need, PerfectDraft. And that, with this, is what you've given us. My word. My word. That is a beautiful pint. I just can't knock it. Really can't. Really refreshing. Carbonation levels, you know, decent. Not blowing me up like you wouldn't believe. And I've just had my Sunday roast. Yeah, so that's a winner. That hits the spot. Right, I'm going to get some snackage down me. So when I poured that, you probably saw it in the background. Not that it matters. Anyway, right in the top left-hand corner. It's not, it's the right-hand corner. Did you ever do that as a kid? Look at that. That's an L for left. Your left hand. Right-hand corner, I'm new. It's a new flavour. It's from Aldi. Specially selected limited edition. As I've just been saying about limited edition, and now it annoys me, these crisps are limited edition, but the snackage, not the same kind of thing. Kentucky Smoked BBQ Crinkle Cut Crisps. Sweet and smoky barbecue flavour infused with Kentucky whiskey. Made with British potatoes. Excellent news. Bit of blurbage on the back. Let's have a read. Prepared using specially selected British potatoes from our nation's best farmers before being hand-cooked in small batches and perfectly seasoned to ensure true quality in every pack. That's probably actually standard blurbage for these specially selected style crisps from Aldi. Now, when I went in there, and after Rick Unwin said to me, go and get these, Baldy, because they're good, right? I went in there and nearly every single box of specially selected style crisps was empty. I panicked. I was a little bit panicked. But then I did look over a little bit more, and fortunately, yeah, there was 2 flavours left, one being this, and the other one being a Chardonnay salted, specially selected crisp. That's irrelevant, doesn't really matter. That's strange, isn't it? They actually tell you on the back who cooked it. So there's 2 things on here. I'm going to look over several packs. I might go into Aldi and have a look if this changes, but maybe it's by the batch. I wonder if there's any kind of consistency issues, because there's different cooks by the sound of it. It's like cooked by Somnath. Strange name, but it's a name. Grower, A&M Frackerson. Incredible. Anyway, let's get into them. I'll give them a little bit of a shake. I don't know if there's going to be a load of flavour, some dust at the bottom, a little bit like your Spuddos. They're gluten-free. They've got the red tractor on there. Let's get stuck in. Right. Okay, getting a good whiff. I mean, I don't snick the snez in the beer, but I do in the snackage. Wet the whistlet. Yeah. Now, when Rick did actually message me and said you can just see the flavour on them, and you can. Let's get a little bit of a grab. Okay, we've got a 3 crisp grab. Look at them. Look at that. I mean, they look like they've got a decent amount of flavour on them. Right. Kentucky Smoked BBQ. Let's give you a go. Yeah. Oh, they're sweet. They're definitely sweet. Sweet and smoky is bang on. What they're saying there is bang on. There's a lot of sweetness there. If you like kind of sweet barbecue flavour, bang. Yeah, they've got a lot of flavour to them. Not spicy. They don't pretend to be. Oh, that's a good flavour. Yeah. Right. I can't remember which other snacks he suggested, to be honest, but I'm going to listen to him because that's good. Yeah. Oh, I like that. And I'm not normally blown away when it's not a spicy snack because I do like spicy snacks, especially spicy snacks, especially with a beer. But they're a little treat. Yeah. They've got a lovely crunch to them. Fantastic crunch. I do like crinkle cut crisps. You know, your Max Strongs, just your Max. I like them. Yeah, ridge cut. Very nice. They do give that extra crunch. They've got a really nice crunch to them. Aldi are good, aren't they? They are. I know I sang about Little by Little, and I don't know what I could sing for Aldi or come up with a little theme tune for them, but I should because I like them. Yeah, well done, Aldi. We've got a situation here, Perfect Drafters, because they're Moorish, and I could fire through that whole bag. That is quaffable, and I could fire through quite a bit of that keg. I'm not going to. It's a Sunday evening. I'm recording this at a bit of a different time, and there's a reason for that. I want to get this video out for around about when Perfect Draft do their tasting session, right? So they're going to do on Wednesday a tasting session of this beer, a pour along. I will join their pour along, might have a little chat away in the comments box, but basically I will be having this Franziskaner Kellerbier along with their stream on YouTube. Edit the video, edit all my waffle out. There's a kind of rule with YouTube that you kind of try and go over 10 minutes because then midway through you can have an ad running and then basically, you know, you get monies for that ad. I take the middle ads out because I just find them annoying when I'm watching them. So I thought, I'm not going to do that to my viewers. Keep those ads out of the middle. But that's why people do just over 10 minutes. Yeah, so that's why I'm doing this on a Sunday night after my roast. And I've got to say, I wish I'd have had that with my roast because I think that beer with a roast dinner would go down a little treat. And you've got to think of things like that because food with your beer is very important. It really is. The other reason why I'm doing this at the weekend for releasage of this video midweek is because Friday I shall be preparing to leave on the Saturday to go to Manchester for the Perfect Draft Conference. The PD Con, I'm going to be there. So yeah, if you're there, please do say hello. Be a little pleasure. I'm going to be there with my mate. The missus wouldn't go. She wouldn't go because she hates this kind of, well, she doesn't hate. Hopefully she don't hate. You know, that'd be a bit harsh. But I don't think she's that keen on the Baldy alter ego, although it's not really an alter ego. It's just me with a different name of Baldy. Right. I'm as bold as this monk. In fact, I think that monk's got more hair. He's got those keys. I've said it in every Franziskaner video. Everyone. It's not like I've done loads. I've said it in the other few videos. He's got 3 keys just dangling there. I'm always intrigued what those 3 keys, what they unlock in his life. What's that monk been up to in those rooms, in those 3 rooms? Might be just one room and it's got the same key. Yeah, could be, just in case he loses one. Although that would be ridiculous because he's got them all tied together. If he loses one of those keys, he's lost them all. Right. What am I going to give that? Let's give it one last sippy suppy soo. Oh, it's a beauty, Perfect Drafters. That is a belter. Right. I'm not sure if I gave Hertog Jan, the standard Hertog Jan, a 10. I think I did. And this, I think, is equally my favourite beer on there now. I do. In terms of lager, I think this is equally my favourite. I'm going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it a 10. Hey, it might be because I've not had a lager on here for a while. Might be that. Might be situational. I'm happy. I've had a roast dinner. I've had a nice snackage. You know, can be like that. Tomorrow it might be a 9. But for now, people, I'm giving that a 10. It's lovely, well-bodied. The 5.2 kind of percent ABV, I think, is kind of perfect. Yeah, just over that percentage for a kind of sessionable beer. But you can have a few without being totally battered, and you know you can just enjoy yourself with that. It's nice. It's good. Lovely, refreshing lager. That's a little treat. It really is. It's getting the full whackage of 10 from me. These, let's give it one more little nibble, nobble, new. I like them. I mean, I would say I'm just more of a fan of spicy snacks, but they're very tasty. They've got a lot of sweetness to them. Really have. But they're saying exactly what they are. The crunch is really nice. Mouthfeel of those crisps, fantastic. I'm going to give them an 8. Solid 8, you know. So out of 20 for these, it's 18. These have pulled it down by 2 marks, but let's face it, you know, an 8 for a snackage, that's good markage. 8 for those. 10 for that. Happy days. Happy days, people. If you've got your Kellerbier, please do comment below. What did you think to it? Do give us a like. Do subscribe to the channel. Always appreciated. Like I say, I've got that Camden IPA coming up, and also Lef Noel. Yeah, just as a repeat kind of review, but it's for that festive time of year. So, well worth giving it a go. But for now, people, whatever you're doing this weekend, yeah? Whatever you're doing, do make it an absolute belter. If you're going to Manchester, make it a good old trip. But if you're just having a few beers in your local with a few mates, make that a good one as well. Enjoy a few beers, people. But for now, Perfect Drafters, whatever you're doing, have a good one. Cheers, Perfect Drafters. Cheers.